Hey guys, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard of the VAL? If you haven't, then shame on you. But for those who have you ever actually used it in Battlefield 4? If your answer was no, then I think it's time you sit down and we can have a discussion on why you should consider using it. Now, the VAL is a personal defense weapon primarily used by the Engineer class in Battlefield 4. Its rate of fire is 900 rounds per minute, with a magazine size of 20 plus 1 in the chamber. The first thing you'll notice off the bat is that the range and stability are severely low, which will indicate that this gun is not going to be easy to use. But if you put it in the right type of hands with a skilled player, this gun will be severely deadly. If you decide to use this weapon, I'd highly recommend sticking to one of the close range sights of this category. Add on a laser sight to increase the hipfire accuracy even more. The suppressor, which is just a suppressor, cannot be taken off. This comes as is. And if you're going to use an underbarrel, I preferably like the angle grip. This will slightly increase the stability, but it's really not going to do much. And the other actual grips are going to increase the hipfire. Now let's talk about the recoil on the VAL. This gun kicks like a Bronco, so learning the recoil pattern is going to be an absolute must if you want to stay accurate. So, if I was to aim and completely spray and pray, this would be the recoil pattern. Straight up and to the right. So as you can see, we have a nice clear representation of where my bullets will go if I have to spray. Well, how do I counter that? The best thing that you can do if the bullets are going up and to the right is to pull down and to the left. Nice and tight. So this will assist you with trying to be more accurate when you're engaging your enemy. What about hipfire though? As you can tell, the crosshairs are fairly smaller, even with the laser sight being off. So this gun is great for close quarter combat, but depending on how far you are from your enemy, the spread can be quite large and very inaccurate. Now, while the spread was fairly tight, you can still see there's quite a bit of kick, especially after the third or fourth bullet. So keep that in mind if you're going to be engaging someone in that type of area. Now, the last thing you want to do and remember is most of your engagements are going to be medium to long range. And this is something the VAL severely lacks, okay? It does not do well in medium to long range battles. But if you do have to encounter an enemy and an engagement of that sort, you're going to want to burst fire. Now, if you notice, the gun still kicks quite a bit, so 3 or 4 round bursts should be efficient enough to get the job done. But the farther you are away from an enemy, the harder it's going to be to maintain that accuracy and recoil. That's a huge difference right there. We are no longer as accurate as we were probably less than 10 meters from our target. So, worst case scenario, you always have the single fire option here, and this will actually help you try to stay on target. But if you can't, do the best you can in terms of leading your shots and trying to pull down while you're burst firing. But what about the damage models? How much punch does this thing have? The VAL in theory takes roughly 4 shots to kill, and that's if you're actually 10 meters or less from your enemy. And this is also assuming you hit them in the chest. If you go for headshots, 2 shots from anything less than 10 meters will kill them. Now, for anything above 10 meters, the damage drops off to about 23 to 22 per shot, which in this case means 5 bullets to kill instead of 4, and all headshots will now take 3 rounds instead of 2. So the max damage that can be given with this weapon is 26. Now this may sound ironic, but this weapon best shines for smaller maps, modes, and or close quarter situations. So modes like Team Deathmatch, Domination, etc. will keep the gameplay quick and smooth. But don't think that the VAL is completely useless on larger maps or modes like Conquest. If you are skilled enough with your tactical approaches to your enemies, and you're fairly accurate, then you can easily take them out. However, remember the high rate of fire will leave you dry pretty quickly. Although, I would have liked to have seen this gun and the other PDWs in the support class, since the way that it's set up now kinda makes it feels like it's pretty pointless to use. But because DICE won't be making any changes to this, we will just have to make do with what we have. I still personally use it, and I just feel as if it just kills enemies very quickly, so I can get the kill and I can move on to the next objective. So what else is there to say about this gun? It kills fast, but it also puts you in tough situations at times, but it still can leave you satisfied in the end. Honestly, give this gun a go and try it out yourself. I honestly don't believe that you will be disappointed, but not everyone will enjoy using this weapon. However, if you guys have any other questions about this gun, feel free to post it in the comment section below and I will get right back to you. But that's all for me today, so thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.